Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever live stream for Qui-Gon High Republic. I'm super excited to be here. I'll be your moderator / host, Colin K. Bass. I have some amazing, talented people to the left of me. Guys, please introduce yourselves and what you did for the show.
Hi, my name is Alex Drastel, and I was the leading man on this. I was Qui-Gon Jinn, and oh my god, it was so much fun. And thank you all for tuning in, seriously.
Oh, yeah. What's up, guys? My name is Rustik Bodimov, and I was second year director and stunt coordinator for one of the action sequences on this project, and I'm really excited for you guys to see it. What's up?
How's it going? My name is Joe Pallone, and I was the costume designer and prop maker on this production. And yeah, I'm super excited. I haven't even seen it yet. I'm super excited about it.
So, guys, we have the release coming up on May 4th, Star Wars Day, as some of you may know. We're going to dive into questions if you guys comment on our YouTube live stream, but I've got a lot of questions for these guys. I've loved Star Wars for as long as I can remember. I want to start off this live by asking each of you, what is your first memory of Star Wars? When you're a little kid, the first thing that you remember that sticks out the most?
Oh my god. I mean, I watched Star Wars when I was a little kid, when the first three, I'm not obviously not when the first three came out, but those were the first three that I saw. And I think my favorite moment was when we were watching it, and my dad was so excited because he had to point out the part where the stormtrooper hits his head when he walks in through the door. And I like, there's so many other like amazing epic moments, but like that was the part that always just sticks out to me, and I always look for it every time I watch it, and I'm so happy they kept it in because like I just it's just so wholesome, and it makes me feel happy every time I think about it.
Oh, yeah, dude. Well, I have a trick answer instead of a trick question. It's a trick answer. Honestly, I didn't really have Star Wars in my childhood. And I actually dove in and learned as much as I could about it when you guys asked me to be a part of this production, because we got introduced by mutual friends. And I kind of loved it, and I did a bunch of research, and I'm excited to continue diving into it. But yeah, that's my trick answer.
I love it. Cool. Joe?
I'm not quite old enough to remember when the very first one came out, but I do remember Empire coming out. And that very first scene on Hoth is probably one of my favorite scenes in just about any movie, not just a Star Wars movie. And I ended up having to get every toy imaginable for Star Wars. I still have a lot of them in stores, a lot of Star Wars toys, the original action figures. So.
You might be rich if you want to sell
Yeah,
those.
honestly, I don't have the prototype Boba Fett, like the expensive one, but
millions.
I've got a bunch of them.
All right, guys, we have some comments coming in. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and asking comments. It is so much more fun when you guys are engaged and involved in this. So I'm going to dive in here, and we'll just pass it down this way until something is specific for one of us. So there's one for you, Rustik. It just says, hi, Rustik. That's nice.
Hi.
Okay. Let's go. So stay vague, no spoilers, but what is your favorite part of this show so far? Let's start with the leading man himself, Qui-Gon. What do you got, Alex?
So there's a part which has been there is a video that has been released, and it was actually one of the promos for it. There's a part, and I don't know how vague to be, but like there's a part where I'm in a struggle, and somebody says something to me, and my response is no. The Force makes me strong.
Oh, okay, that's not a spoiler because we released that on there. Okay, that's good.
And what comes after that, I'm really excited for it. I still haven't seen it, so I'm just excited as all of you. But like that was a moment that every time I watch that clip, I'm just like, I get excited. So
the wind is blowing.
Yes,
through your hair.
that's another whole topic we need to talk about.
But. Oh, the hair will come up later. How about you, Rustik? Do you have a favorite moment so far?
Favorite moment from the production was honestly the action scene. Yeah, the one that I was involved with.
I don't want to lie, that's my favorite too.
That's what I was going to go
Okay,
with.
so we're all agreed.
It was awesome. It was an awesome like 2 days in the location that we were at, without giving any spoilers, with all you guys, and I was able to bring like my team on. Got Tim, my friend Tim Neff is a fight choreographer. Tyler Albrecht, he's the stunt rigger. We have like wires involved, like a bunch of cool like everything that my team was able to do on such like a last minute project was really exciting. And so like that whole process was amazing, and being able to like you guys let me do the second unit directing on those couple of days. So I just love the whole process. I feel like I was on fire the whole time. Like I love that. You know?
I'd like to say that like the previs and everything that you did like was super helpful as like an actor and everything like that. It really gave us like a shot by shot what we needed to do, what it needed to look like, and it really helped things move along. It was super helpful. So I really wanted to say that was like not a lot of people do that, and it was really helpful.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah. So outside of the actual scene we shot, we did show up. Like we choreographed the action scene, and we spent like a whole day like shooting it before we shot it, so we knew exactly what it was going to look like. Yeah, I'm glad that worked out for you.
Oh no,
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Like you were the right man to have made it happen.
So Joe, we agree that the action sequence are favorite. So we have a special surprise for you guys. We want to start this live stream out strong. We have a sneak peek of a clip that you have never seen before. It's our favorite scene, I think. Here we go. Can we play it for us?
Focus. We've got company.
Well, if it isn't two lost Jedi.
Pure Vesco.
Nothing a couple Jedi can handle.
Jedi. Looks like Duke here didn't want to pay, so he sent you. There's only two of them. They'll never make it past our clan.
I wouldn't underestimate Jedi.
Those who have are not allowed to underestimate us again.
Holy Star Wars. Come on.
That was good.
I haven't even seen that yet. That was so cool.
Did you guys see the Ewok in the tree watching you guys? Anyone? No?
Did you pick it up?
Rooster, didn't you cast the Ewok?
Oh yeah. It climbed up, right?
Yeah.
You should all look for that.
It was Roostic in the Ewok suit. I'm just kidding. Roostic's like 6'4". I'm just kidding. All right, so we're going to dive back into the questions. I have a million questions for these amazing people, but we'll go in. All right, I have a question for everyone. We're going to start with Joe. We're going to switch up the lineup here. What drew you to this project?
Oh, wow. I have always had a love for Star Wars. So when I heard this was coming up as a Nerdbot project, I kind of really, really wanted to be part of it. Especially when I knew that we were basically making full Mando suits for everybody. It's one thing that I've kind of always wanted to make for myself, but never really had the initiative to do it for myself. So it was really, really cool to me that I got to do that, especially through different ones. Mm-hmm. That was probably the biggest draw to this for me was getting to work on the costuming and stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, and Joe helps us out on all of our shows over at Nerdbot. We do Power Rangers, character select, all these different things, but this Star Wars one was the most, I guess, extreme, right? Like lots of different people all came together to make this. So big shout out to Jerry Cotto, VFX artist that became one of our directors, one of the big leading forces in this. There's so many people else to shout out. Sean Swanson helped out too. DJ Rivers. There's a million people to shout out, but you can see them at the end credits. All right, Roostic, what drew you to this project?
What's happening? I feel like this mic, like I just want to talk into, like I'm doing ASMR or something. Ooh. What's happening?
I hope it's that good.
All right. Okay, so what drew me to this project? Actually, our friend, you just mentioned him, DJ Rivers, he actually introduced me to you guys, to Nerdbot, the studio. And I was really excited to see what the work you guys have been putting in with like your costumes and creating cool content around characters that you actually enjoy. And I could tell like your guys' passion about what you're doing, you know, and like in the storytelling. And so I really wanted to collaborate with you guys on something to see how it turned out. And when I started talking to Elvin, he's the producer on this. He brought up Star Wars, and I was like, you know, I don't really know. You know, I probably shouldn't say this, but I didn't really know much about Star Wars at the time. But I believed in like my skills and my team's skills, and then your guys' storytelling ability, and Jerry as the director as well, and Alex as everybody, the whole team. I believed in the team, and I wanted to be involved in the creative process. You know, I love the creative process and building on each other's skills.
I had trouble listing everyone too. There's a lot of amazing people. Yeah. This series was so inclusive. We grabbed from all the different shows, all the different talented friends and family to bring these characters, this whole show to life. Alex, we were talking about this briefly before. How I'm going to bring this up. We were in the car for it was Mandalorian vs. Judge Dredd.
Yes.
And Elvin, the producer / half director of this thing, goes, "You'd make a really good young Qui-Gon, right? Isn't that how the story goes?"
Yeah, my hair. I mean, I've recently chopped it all off. So next, if we do more, which I really hope we're going to, and I think we will, but with your support, please help us watch it. It's
May
gonna
4th,
be great.
Nerdbot Series.
Yes.
May the 4th be with you.
But I'm sitting here in the back with like my hair kind of done up in almost a kind of Qui-Gon kind of way, and he's like, "You'd make a really good Qui-Gon," and then that kind of like went slightly past, and then all of a sudden I get a message from Colin to be like, "So the Qui-Gon thing, it's happening. Are you in?" And I was just like, yes, like I totally want to do that. Like Qui-Gon's one of those characters that I don't think ever really got enough love, and he's one of those guys that he's got that heart. He's got that kind of maverickness. He rebels against people, but he's always got that kind of like you look up to. He's got that kind of like father figure, and I don't know. He's a dope-ass character, and I'm excited to be able to portray him, and also Liam Neeson's the shit. So if Liam Neeson were to ever like look at this and be like, "Hey, I noticed that," I would probably die. So I'm just going to say that.
Tag Liam Neeson in the comments.
Let's go.
And then for me, my story is not as amazing as these guys. I was in Big Bear at my family's cabin, and Elvin's like, "Hey, we're doing this Qui-Gon thing." I was like, "Ha ha, very funny." He goes, "Go watch episode 1." I'm like, "Ha ha, funny joke, dude." And then he was like, "No, we're really Alex is in, blah blah blah." And so I watched episode 1, and I was like, there is so much we can do with this. Mm-hmm. I love telling untold stories in the fan film genre. It's kind of our thing as Nerdbot and Crimson Vision. So I'm watching, and I was like, "Ooh, this guy does not like the rules," and that was kind of like my lead-in with writing this. I love the dude in this kind of religious Jedi council, and he's kind of like, "Yeah, I'm here for the greater good, but we got to help this kid out," right? Like what you're saying. Yeah. So that's how it won me over. Not to mention when the team was being built, I was like, "Wait, you're grabbing all of our A-team from all of our different shows and creating a show? Sign me up." And I really hope we get to do an Ep 2. And that's all with your guys' support. May 4th, watch it the first day, leave a comment, share it. Yeah. It helps more than you know, and it costs $0. So, all right, guys, diving back into the questions. Lots of questions about Alex's hair. I'm just kidding. All right.
Extensions. It was all extensions.
Wigs.
All right, we want to know, the fans want to know, who's everyone's favorite lightsaber? Do people have a favorite lightsaber here from... Alex, your answer better be Qui-Gon's.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to.
I feel like, yeah. I mean,
green.
It is a beautiful color. It honestly, like, I actually like holding Qui-Gon's lightsaber. It's a little bit. It feels bigger. Because I know that feels weird, but like, so okay. I do actually like full combat sword fighting, and actually having. God, this is gonna sound even weirder. Having the extra length of the sword itself.
Did you almost call it a shaft?
I almost did. And
this show is PG.
It gives you the leverage. It gives you that. So like as an actual sword fighter, you have like the push and pull motion. God, this is sounding awful. But seriously,
so Qui-Gon's his favorite.
as a sword fighter and fighting with two hands, having more leverage really does help, and it actually gives you more movement with your sword. So there you go. That sounded awful, but it's true.
Well, that was a lot of sexual innuendos in one sentence.
It's all your
Rooster,
guys' fault.
do you have a favorite?
Honestly, I really don't. I'm kind
You
of
like Qui-Gon's shaft?
I don't have any favorites. I don't choose. I just kind of I roll with the punches.
You're like, a sword's a sword, right?
yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be cool to get some like lightsaber nunchucks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. F2, baby. Joe? Joe?
I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, so I have a plethora of my own custom lightsabers.
I know.
I don't want to say
seen
that
them.
my own lightsaber is my favorite, but it is.
The
But if I had to pick
Joe
one from the
lightsaber.
movies, it would be Obi-Wan's. But that's
Which episode?
3.
3. Okay.
Yeah, 3.
So my childhood, I know no one asked me, but I'm going to ask me.
Hey, I'm asking you.
Thank you. So I have a childhood memory of saving up allowances for an Ep1 Obi-Wan saber. And we were in church. This is going to go like really deep into my childhood
Let's
psyche.
do it.
But so we're in church and everyone's like praying. It's really quiet. And I had just gotten my lightsaber and I took it everywhere secretly. And I was like, yeah. And I clicked it. It goes, and everyone like looks at me and I'm like,
Seriously, is there really anything more satisfying than
awesome.
that sound? Like,
yeah. Well, not in church.
Look, let us pray.
Yeah. All right, we got Selwyn in the chat, guys. If
Shit.
we love Selwyn. He was
in the clip.
in the clip, the guy with the blue lightsaber. What's his name? I'm so sorry. What's
His name was... Shit.
Selwyn's amazing.
Rayan Tarth.
Rayan Tarth.
Sorry.
Character name.
Can we edit this out? Oh, it's live? Never mind.
Oh,
All
my
right,
God.
shout out to Selwyn.
But seriously, he like the stunts, the things that he did. Like honestly, he made me look awful. Like the dude could fucking do.
That's not true.
Everything.
You guys were great.
So,
No,
someone
but I'm
who's a
saying, like,
professional
he-
stunt performer and actor. So
But he's
dope,
amazing.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I like hyping up other people. I can't.
He was amazing.
Well, you guys are both
Keep hyping him. He's dope.
You don't
But
have
so
to
are you.
self-deprecate to hype
You
somebody
guys work
else up.
together. You guys made the scene work
He
together.
looked
You know?
amazing, and like the things he could do, it just it was so cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys, leaning into the Star Wars franchise. Rustic, you are exempt from this question if you want to be, but let's talk favorite movies. Do you guys have a favorite movie? I'll start because
Empire.
it's.
Oh,
Oh, hey.
Empire Strikes Back.
I guess Qui-Gon will start.
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back. I think I'm pretty alone in this. I love Revenge of the Sith.
That's
Your favorite?
That's mine too.
Dude, the Anakin
Unpopular
versus
opinion,
Obi-Wan.
yeah.
Oh my god. All right. Here we go. I'm just reading this next one. Okay, Colin K. Bass, you and your team are amazing, making videos from Power Rangers videos to Star Wars videos, and Mystery Incorporated F1 was amazing. Thank you, the Smilinator. That I'm glad you watch everything that we do with our friends. Shout out to Joe's lightsaber that I get to rock in the film. Selwyn used your lightsaber.
Yeah, he used one of the ones I have. The
That's
smaller,
awesome.
short bladed one, since he was so agile and it seemed like a shorter hilt, not a shaft. A shorter hilt with a shorter blade was more appropriate. So, and it happened to look a little more. His character's supposed to be kind of a tribal warrior, sort
Right.
of. And that one had like the leather wrapped handle, and it was, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it real well, but it was real weathered. It was just more appropriate for the character.
There's the scene. Well, you'll be able to see it. That's all I'm
Okay.
gonna say.
Yes.
The
All right,
details on
guys.
everything was amazing. On all the
Thank
costumes
you.
and all the props and stuff. Like even like we got this like sitting right here. Like the weathering you've done. Like yeah, I was really impressed.
I
It was one of the
appreciate that.
first times I
Thank you.
worked with someone that's made props in the level that you have for projects. Like
Well, I appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yes. And that's another thing about this team is, we all brought our own thing to the table, but we also really lift each other up. And I think that's one of my favorite things about this team. And building this live was so fun because we all bring something different to the table, but it all led to this. And guys, you got to check it out May 4th on the Nerdbot Studios YouTube. The one you're watching right now. Like, share, comment, get the word out there. Okay, moving on to the production side of things. Do you guys have a favorite behind-the-scenes moment that you'd like to share with the audience? I'd like to share one while you guys think.
Yes.
And this is me not stalling at all, but I'm going
I
to...
wish you sent me questions before we started.
Well, I kind of do it off the dome like Qui-Gon. So, listen, there's a certain character in this... am I spoiling something? There's a certain character in this show played by my nephew that is going to be important.
You have a nephew?
I have a nephew.
Oh wow.
And he's
How old?
going to...
Damn. Sorry. Go continue.
Well,
I can't swear.
he's going to be important to the legacy of Star Wars, especially with Qui-Gon. Are you guys hinting? You guys getting this hint at all?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, yes. And Alex did a great job on this scene, and my little nephew suited up as a jet. Oh, I'm spoiling stuff.
My little nephew.
I'm the Tom Holland of it.
You see like a cane that comes around the corner, like
just like yanks you off. Like.
Anyway, so it's really cool because my sister and my brother-in-law and the kids came up and filmed this scene where we were outside the Jedi Temple. And it was so cool to bring in my family that doesn't really get what we do, for lack of a better term. They all got involved, and they've been asking me every weekend that I see them, hey, when's it coming out? When's it coming out? Now it's finally coming out. I'm super excited. That was my favorite BTS, that my actual family's involved.
Also, on a side of that, for a kid who's like never acted, he freaking destroyed it. Like he did so good. Mm-hmm. Like it's amazing. You guys got to see it. May the 4th. Yeah, I'm gonna keep plugging that.
Yep, we got
it. May the 4th be with you, and also with you.
So,
did my stalling save anyone?
Yes,
okay.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Thank you.
So on like. This is both like kind of like favorite BT, but like there was the last day of shooting we did for this was so freaking windy. Like honestly, it made the shots look amazing. Like we have some really cool shots because the wind it looked like we had like giant fans everywhere. But we're out in the desert, like sand's blowing in our eyes. Like it was awful. Like our 10x10 blew down. Like it was hard, but like it was also really cool because we got to like work as a team, get through it. You know, we did it.
Your hair flew,
and like my hair, my hair, you're making me miss my hair. No, like it's beautiful, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. But that honestly, that was both the hardest thing to get through, and also one of the coolest things like that actually happened, and that was just coincidental. And sometimes that happens and you got to get through it, but it makes things awesome.
It's like now that it's over, it was so worth it. During it, you're like, what am I doing?
In hindsight.
In hindsight, yeah.
Do you have a favorite BTS moment?
Favorite BTS moment. All right.
Flying
it's hard.
On the strings,
I mean,
maybe?
I got like two.
Oh yeah,
two.
Give them two.
My first one that's not really part of the on the production type of thing was actually hanging out with all you guys, because what's really cool about you guys as production teams is that like you do all these like cool hangouts before, you know, like for everybody to get to know each other and like get to hang out and then like talk ideas and all that. So like that was like for me personally, that was like super like amazing and fun and like healing and all that kind of stuff. It's really. Do you
want to
really
hang
cool.
out after this?
Yes, let's
all right,
hang
cool.
out. All right, cool. Sick.
You guys are invited.
And then for like on set, honestly, there was a lot of really cool moments. But I guess like one of the most like dopamine-inducing moments was seeing my buddy, who was a stunt rigger on that action scene that we just watched a little bit, Tyler, seeing him make like magic for us, like on the like right on the spot when we needed to fly people and like have all these little things from those trees that we were working with. So just being able to see my friends like just create like at the top level of what they're able to do, like on the spot, you know, like that was, I mean, and that happened all the way through production. Everybody kind of did that, but I guess as an example, I just want to say like Tyler killed it, and
it's the first time I'd ever seen like wire stunts. Yeah. I know we did a slight one with the other one, but like to see people literally fly through the air and get like picked up and drawn back, like it was really cool. It was really
a dream. What about you, Joe?
I'm gonna go with probably the end of the day of the first day of filming the action scenes, because I had never really done anything. All my armor had always been for show. It always been for costumes, for cons. It'd never been for actual stunt work.
Right.
I worked with a new material that I had never worked with before to make it a little sturdier, and I had no idea if it was going to hold up. And then he started throwing people against trees and stuff, and I was having an anxiety attack. But at the very end of that day, when everything was still intact, it was still usable, it was still functional, that was a huge sigh of relief for me, and I was kind of proud of myself a little bit.
Were you crying because you watched your armor get thrown against a tree?
Well, I mean, a few pieces got broken here and there, but nothing that couldn't be repaired.
No, that's awesome, man. Yeah, that all these different stories are so great because we all come from different sides of this production. So I love hearing all of this. All right, this next one's for me. Hey, Colin, as a writer/filmmaker, what's the most challenging fan film or series you've written? An inspired screenwriter wants to know. well, best of luck to you for screenwriting and filmmaking. The most challenging, I don't know. There's always kind of ups and downs with things, and I know this is like the most cop-out answer ever, but there's never been one where I'm just like, this is too hard. So it's more like the ups and downs of it. Like, this is a high up. I love seeing these guys. It's been almost a year since we've all been together.
Dude, it's literally been a year. I think it was a year ago that we shot this.
So like it's a lot of ups and downs. I can't really pick one, but all I'm gonna say is surround yourself with the right people, and that will lead to a positive outcome. That's all I really have to say. So ATL Worldwide, our homie guessed Baby Vader for. I don't think that timeline works out, but thank you.
like infant baby. How old is your nephew? Well, you don't have to spoil it.
I think he's 8.
Okay, cool.
I'm a bad uncle. All right, Luis Talks and Stuff, another friend of mine. Thank you for tuning in. I just want to see a workout scene with Alex like they had in Batman and Batman vs Superman.
Next episode 2.
Hit that donate button. I'm just kidding. All right, we said, hey, it's my boy Roostic. You got another fan in here?
Yo, what's up? Who's that?
It's M Digital.
What's up, M Digital? That's Sharir. He's the guy that did a lot of VFX on my videos. He has a really.
We got some supportive fans in here. All right, Nicole says, "Hiya, Alex. How long did it take to shoot the episode?"
Oh God, I don't even want to answer that question.
Pass?
Longer than I wanted. Longer than anybody wanted. That's the thing is like I think a lot of people don't realize how long this stuff actually takes and how long like the special effects take and like. It's hard and like, but it's also really rewarding when it does finally come out and you get to see it and you get to see all your hard work like you get to see it and you're just like, holy crap, that's so cool. Yeah. And so like, I don't know how long did it take.
How many shoot days did we have?
I don't know the exact total, but I know that like we kept adding certain things to it. Like it was all a good thing. Like the Obi-Wan thing, we were able to add more. Oh,
you fucking! Nobody heard that.
Oh, what? Excuse me.
That's a misdirect. I was just joking.
So like, what is like 7 or 8, 10 to 15?
Our producer's looking at me. What do you think? What's the number?
How many shoot days do we have?
Higher?
Total probably
12.
Okay.
Probably spread out over like 2 or 3 months, right?
Stuff
like,
here and in the studio. Yeah.
Most of it is done in the editing process. Like a lot, like it only takes so many days, but then it's all. But even then, like it's doing the previs, it's doing the fight scenes, it's doing the practice for those so that you can get it right. Like there's a lot of work that goes into this, and like same thing with like also talking about special effects. Once again, shouting out to Jerry because that guy did a lot, and we really want to thank him.
Moving on before I spoil anything else, Jordan's in the chat. You'll see her as a new original character, Lu Nai, in this episode. I'm not going to say anything else. Name. Thank you.
Wow.
Sorry, Selwyn.
That one.
Sorry, Selwyn. I didn't name Selwyn. I named Jordan. Okay, Colin, who came up with the idea and story behind Qui-Gon Jinn High Republic? The idea was our producer, Elvin, and then the story was me fact-checked by everyone ever. It was crazy. Everyone just thought they were Star Wars experts, and I had to battle my case every night. But a little bit about me. I did Star Wars product development for 5 years, and I'm like, no, it's this, and it was just everyone knows Star Wars, right? Except Roostic, but everyone knows Star Wars and would like
take it.
Really dig in because we cared, But I'm there like, no, I watched every video, I read every Wikipedia, I worked in Star Wars product development for 5 years. So I will say that I wrote it, but man, was I challenged in a good way to make sure that this made sense. Down to like ages, down to things they said. Like,
well, dude, it was so interesting because like the story of this, like it's like Qui-Gon, origins. It's like even like when I started diving into like the Star Wars universe, once you guys have told me what this can be about, like I think it's really, really cool era that like you guys are able to be like exploring through story. Like there's so much possibilities right there.
Untold, right?
We can
exactly.
do whatever we want.
And it's so cool because even in the stories, like we're talking about like episode 2 potentially, like there's all these like potential like stories that could be really, really cool to like tell to some,
And it's interesting that Qui-Gon's one of the very few characters there's really not a whole lot written about.
And if
there's not a lot of extended
canceled.
Universe stuff. Yeah, it's
when Disney took over.
It's like you've got a blank canvas.
Baby Jabba in F2, right? Anyone?
Yeah,
no?
right.
Baby Jabba? Okay. All right, guys. Alex, did you read any comics or books or watch any of the shows / movies to get into character?
Oh God, I watched so many things. Like I remember when Colin called me and was like, "So you gonna do this?" And I was like, "Yes." And I immediately like got on Disney Plus and just started binging everything. Got on YouTube, watched all the stuff that honestly isn't canon anymore.
Dude, there's so many cool videos on YouTube just like talking about stories like that could potentially be like how things work. Like that's what I did too.
Honestly, I was one of those people who came to Colin was like just because I was really excited and was like, oh my God, I learned so much about Qui-Gon. And Colin's like, Alex, shut the fuck up. And just
Can we believe
let me.
that?
But no, like it was so much fun, like getting to learn so much about this character, and I don't know. He's one of the best characters I think in episode 1, and he kind of like, and even though he that's why this is so much fun because he gets killed, and we don't get to know as much. Spoiler. Oh my God, yeah, sorry if you haven't seen episode 1.
Hey, no one ever really dies according to Luke, right?
Right, but he's the first person to ever become a Force ghost. He's the first person to ever really become that in tune with the Force. Like he is, a leader, and like he is somebody who is, God, what's the word?
And he stays outside of being like super like one way or the other. Like,
yeah, like if anything, he could almost be described as like one of the first like gray Jedi. Like he really kind of like leans towards that because he's like, I want to do, what the Force tells me to do, not what like society or what you guys think I should do. Like I'm about the Force, and like I always thought that was really cool. And so yes, I did do a lot of research to figure this out.
And he's kind of the catalyst for basically the entire universe.
Yeah,
without that originally, getting Anakin off of Tatooine, there's no rest of the story.
There's no Skywalker.
There's no nothing. Yeah,
Anakin would have just been fixing droids and making pod racers.
So he's literally serving, like you were saying, a great Jedi. He's serving the Force.
Wait, so Qui-Gon kind of screwed it all up.
Well, it had to happen.
Well, no. It's like he enacted the thing that actually brought balance to the Force.
Mm-hmm. Or did he? I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna be that guy. I am not that guy. I met with a bunch of those guys while I was writing this, so I'm not that guy. All right, guys. Moving on to a question I saw on. Do you guys ever watch Mojo?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. I like this question that they ask people in interviews. If you could describe this show in 3 words, what would your 3 words be? And if you need me to stall, blink twice, because I got you. Alex is staring at me. Alex is ready to go. All right, 3 words to describe Qui-Gon Jinn High Republic.
Original, epic, and honestly, it's a lot of fun.
That was a lot of words, but we'll take it. Roostic.
I'm blinking at you really loudly right now.
I felt the blinks. Okay. Joe, you got 3?
Exciting, fun, and surprising.
Very cool. Do you need timer stick? I can do my 3.
Yeah, do your 3.
All right, cool. I would say Untold, Alex Drastel. I'm just kidding. Let me really do it. While Ristic thinks. All right, I'll say Untold, Deep, Potential.
Oh yeah.
I'm hyping myself up.
That was good.
Ooh, thanks, Jeff.
See, this is why he's the writer.
Nice.
All right,
okay, I don't know how I'm going to follow this up. Okay. Am I allowed to like repeat words?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I would say...
Take one from each of us.
All right, cool. I would say original.
Ooh.
Surprising.
That was mine.
That's okay. What did you say? Action.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, I'm hyped. I want to watch it. All right, guys, we are leaning into halfway through this live stream. I hope you guys are all tuning in, excited for May 4th on this YouTube. Likes, shares, comments mean more than you know. Doesn't cost anything, so please dive in. We have teasers up on all of our NerdBot social media. All of our social media probably has something, so make sure you check it out. And then my next question for all of you, and we'll start with Joe. Now, keep in mind the timeline for this. Do you have a dream character that you'd like to bring into this show? Baby Jabba.
I do, and I don't know. I guess it's not really a spoiler because it didn't work out, but I would like to see Mace Windu in this series. I would really like to see that happen.
No one's winking at us. Okay. Okay, that's a great answer.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite characters, and I would really like to see a younger version of him.
Mace Windu deserves more than what and that maybe that's our hook to this show. We are giving people that deserve more.
Basically, yeah.
Rustic, no pressure at all. You can say Baby Jabba if you want to, but
you know what? Because this might actually happen. I don't want to give any spoilers, but there is a cool character that we were talking about, potentially like the origin story of another really major character. Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't want to spoil it. The one that Evan was talking about me maybe potentially playing.
Oh.
Yeah. Is that something we could say, or is that something we should keep quiet?
Yeah, say it. We got some people on here.
What was his name again?
Oh my god! Well, you just outed me.
You're really good at stunts.
I'm good at two things.
Do a backflip, Rustic.
I'm good at do a backflip. Performing and filming. That's good. All right. No, but there's a cool character. I forget. It's General
Grievous.
Grievous. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, we're talking about potentially telling his story, and so if that happens, if we're able to make episode 2, like, I would love to tell his story, because like there's a lot of cool stuff that we were talking about potentially making happen.
Mm-hmm. I did know who you were talking about. I was just joking.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You did it? Really? You
I didn't know
like that?
I thought you might have talked something else, but
okay.
I think I was wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we got Baby Jabba. What do you want?
Gosh darn it! I it's been a while, but I read this in the research, and I'm not going to remember her name, but it was actually one of the reasons that Qui-Gon starts. It's in the like the legend, so it's not necessarily canon, but I think it'd be really cool to bring in is the person who actually starts to make Qui-Gon question the council and question his like devotion to the council, and that's when he loses actually the person that he loves. And so, if you know who this is, and you know the council's like, hey, I think it'd be really cool to bring that in, because she is a person who kind of pushes Qui-Gon to be the person that we end up seeing in episode 1.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
And I can't remember her name, but she's very pivotal. Like,
yeah, women. I'm just kidding. They make guys go crazy. Anyways, all right. So the 3 words we got from someone in the chat says epic, adventurous, and fascinating.
Have they seen it?
No, they're just like really excited. But
it's pretty good.
I agree.
I agree too. All right, my dream character would be not Baby Jabba, I promise. I'm gonna go with. What about like I'm forgetting his name, and I don't know if the timeline lines up. Maybe Joe can help me. That guy that first had the Darksaber. He was like a Mandalorian and a Jedi at once. Mm-hmm. I forgot his name.
I forgot his name too.
But I don't know if the timeline lines up. But man, if that dude rolls up, maybe played by someone on the right side of the table. Oh, but no, I would love to do that. I don't think the timeline's up. But it'd be really cool to have someone introduce the Darksaber.
I was going to say it'd be interesting to have somebody that currently possesses a Darksaber, whoever it is in this timeline.
But the dude that created it was the first ever Mandalorian / Jedi.
Because we're about like 30 years before episode 1, correct? Around that time.
Yes, I believe that's correct. Maybe a little less. But that's another thing. Writing this, so many people had their facts or opinions or blah blah blah. So we purposely stayed pretty vague to not, I guess, like get busted
to shoot ourselves in the foot. Yeah.
So we stayed pretty vague, but there's still a lot of lore that we're building upon, which is my favorite thing about fan films. Is it's the things that us as fans want to see. So diving into that, it's more like, okay, imagine we weren't in this. What would we want to see if there was a Qui-Gon series? And man, if I wasn't a part of this, I would love this series.
Oh yeah, me too.
Okay, we have Kit Fisto coming from Selwyn. Kit Fisto, a young Kit Fisto would be really cool. He's the squid guy, or am I wrong? He's the little squid, head guy, the green squid guy. I'm just gonna do this until you guys.
So. Yeah,
until somebody says something.
He's the water. He's got the
little squid.
I think he
no,
has
hair.
It's more of his hair, I think.
Yeah.
Because he's the one that you actually do see in the Clone Wars, and he's the one that they live in the underwater world, correct?
I did not dive that deep into Clone Wars, but I know my friend had a Kit Fisto toy, and it was a little squid green guy.
And so I'm pretty sure I know who you're talking about, but I could also be wrong.
You know who I like? It was my best friend's favorite character that never really talked, Plo Koon.
Oh,
young Plo Koon.
He looks so cool.
He's got the cool like face mask on.
He's
here.
also one of those just like really wise, like deep characters. Like,
Oh.
I love Plo Koon.
Selwyn says I was right about the squid
The guy
head.
with the
Yeah.
tentacles for hair. Tentacles for
This
hair.
part,
No, not here. Here.
Yeah. Not
I did it
Zoidberg.
wrong. No.
Zoidberg.
Yeah. But
We're not talking about Cthulhu.
So we, without spoiling anything, we do dive into more force powers. And when I was a kid, we had this video game on, those big giant PCs. I don't know the age group watching right now. The big giant PCs, and they had force speed, they had force jump, they had force healing. Before they retconned it all when Disney took over. But we really dive into like those force powers, feeling things, sensing the future, things like that.
Yeah.
So I want all the Star Wars fans out there to know that we're building the lore.
Yeah.
These people are using powers constantly. Rustic, do you want to say?
even in the action scene, I was just gonna say,
please.
even in the action scene. So Tim Neff, who's the fight choreographer, he's a huge Star Wars fan. He knows.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So he's actually one of the main reasons. Like, I think that fight's gonna be like really, really dope. But he was actually we were able to integrate some force powers that we haven't seen used in the way they're being used in the fight. Like, So I guess that's all I wanted to say. Yeah.
No, that's
it's gonna be great. Like just like bouncing off, like using force powers differently. Like there's stuff that hasn't been done yet. Also, different types of weapons and different types of items, right?
Especially
right?
from the Mandalorian.
Yeah. So it's actually really interesting, like what we're able to do. There's a couple of cool moments I think that are going to be like memorable in that action scene.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I when I was writing it, there's only one real force speed moment. And that's in episode 1 with Qui-Gon. And I think that was my big hook. I was like, why don't they just dash all the
They
time?
do it all
right?
the time.
But then I start thinking like the video games, you run out of force energy. Everyone gets tired. I'm tired right now. But you use it and then you fight and then you can use it again. So my question to everyone on this panel, do you have a favorite force power? Ooh, I'm going to raise the levels. If you could have one force power, what would it be and why? Let's start. Rustic looks nervous. I'm not going to ask him. Qui-Gon, Alex, do you have a favorite force power that you would want and why?
I feel like it's just so much fun to do, and I honestly enjoyed even just like make believe doing it in the series. Was the force push and pull,
Okay.
like being able to shove and or like pull something towards you, and I feel like those are kind of like synonymically like kind of similar powers, like being able to
So kind of like telekinesis.
yeah, like
right?
telekinetically actually like move objects or do things like that. Like I think that's super useful and also just kind of awesome. So that's mine.
That's cool.
Joe, would you like to go?
I would probably go with, and they don't show it a lot except for in the new trilogy, which is kind of stupid, but force healing.
Oh,
I
wow.
do like force healing, yeah. Like you were saying, it's in a lot of video games.
Yes, I remember.
It's been in a lot of video games for a long time, and it was in the extended universe for a long time, but it was never in the movies, at least until the new trilogy. I really dig that one. That feels like that's like the most important force power you could ever have.
Yeah.
Like, how much of the trilogy, how many things could have been fixed if you could have just,
Healed somebody.
healed somebody.
Yes.
We wouldn't have to.
I might be alive today.
Rustic, do you need more time?
You know what? I'm gonna go with the force dash. I think that's pretty dope. Like at least for the stuff that I do, and like, can you imagine being able to like, just you're basically the Flash.
Yeah, for short distances,
For a very
from what
short
I
distance,
remember.
yeah.
But like, this just popped in my head for Ep 2. How cool would it be the slow mo, that
Bullet
force
time
dash.
kinda guy, yeah.
Yeah,
Shows
bullet
you,
time.
yeah.
That'd be really cool.
What's going on? Everybody's
it's-
acting normal, but like
And lasers are like right here by Qui-Gon. And he's like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Actually,
and it's
that's
me
a-
shooting.
You can
him.
make it happen.
Actually,
That's
that's
really
a
cool.
force power we don't actually talk about a lot. Is the
Yeah.
fact that the reason Jedi are able to block laser blasts is because they have that innate sense to be able to almost sense what the laser, like
Signals
where it's going to
information.
coming from.
Their spider sense
Because
is tingling.
it's like, yeah, it's almost like a spider sense. They can sense, okay, that
Yeah.
do they slow down time? How do they actually figure that out? And that is actually something really cool.
we could
Note to
definitely
self.
make that happen. We could definitely show that. I know exactly
be
how we could do
awesome.
that.
Okay. Well,
Episode two.
we'll
Ideas for Ep 2.
we'll watch this again. Make sure you watch episode 1. So then Ep 2 we can do some bullet time
May
Star
the
Wars
4th.
stuff.
May the 4th. Watch
sick.
it.
I-
Comment. Share. Please.
May the fourth be
May the fourth be with you.
I'm with Alex. I would love the telekinesis side of things, even like slightly rolling the die or pushing and pulling. And Have you guys ever seen Chronicle? Not to go off on
Yeah.
a tangent, but the way they like manipulate telekinesis is just that's my power.
Oh, yeah,
That's what I want.
I have a question.
Yes.
And it's kind of a typical question. Do you feel that a Jedi should be able to fly since he can literally move things with his mind? He could move himself and
Temporarily, right? Because they get tired.
because they never really show that.
Is-
know what
Can
I
you
mean?
force push the ground?
Is
away
that
from
kind of
yourself?
like force jumping though?
I don't know. Is it? I mean,
I
Is
think
that
they
how
get too
do
tired.
that?
I mean, could you like levitate yourself up to a ledge that maybe you couldn't reach,
I mean, is
or would you have to
if,
stand on something and then lift that thing?
if
I just think
anything,
you
what
can't do it
did
for that
what
long.
did what did
Yeah.
Leia do? She kind of like force flew
Oh,
through
okay.
space.
Yeah,
I mean,
we don't talk about that.
So not to go off on a tangent. Please keep your questions coming so I don't go off on a tangent. But we worked a year ahead on the Star Wars movies, so we'd be working on these characters for costumes, accessories, models, everything, and then the movie come out a year later. So we're like, yeah, let's make a Leia costume. Let's put a lot of money into Leia. And then we see her. And I was like, oh,
Never mind.
no. And I just imagine all those costumes in storage because no one wants to be Leia.
Wow.
But we will never do that in Qui-Gon.
we're also never gonna forget Leia.
No, and we love Leia. And I didn't mean to bag on her, just that scene. That's all I meant.
We're backing on the people who wrote it.
Sorry. Yes. But you know what's really great? The Mandalorians in this series. There's 3 Mandalorians. Joe killed it with the costumes, killed it with the accessories. Jerry made amazing VFX. Just so many gizmos and gadgets, right?
Yeah.
So there's some famous Mandalorians in the Star Wars universe. Let's talk about our favorites. Rustic, no pressure.
The Mandalorian that Pedro Pascal plays, which people have told me I could be a stunt double.
You do. I
look
see
like
it.
him.
You're more handsome.
I look
though.
like I'm a younger version of Pedro Pascal. I'm like 2 inches taller than him, but if you guys are watching, I could
Yeah.
double him. Literally, you could shoot my face, and I could be a good stunt double. But yeah, I love that one. I love the Mandalorian series a lot. Like,
It's great too.
Yeah.
That's what won my girlfriend over. She didn't know anything about Star Wars, but Mandalorian won her over. I know. Don't look at me like that, Alex. All right, favorite Mandalorians, Joe.
I'm gonna go with Boba Fett, but
Okay.
not the original trilogy Boba Fett. I'm gonna go actually with Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, wow.
Which at the beginning of the series, I wasn't really a big fan of Boba, but towards the end, probably my favorite character. A little bit older, a little bit grizzled. He's still pretty badass.
Clean
though.
suit. I
Yeah.
like it.
Oh yeah, the nice clean suit.
All right, Alex.
All right.
Favorite Mando.
Honestly, to be honest, I really liked when I first started watching Mandalorian, the one who kind of just looked like a freaking who wasn't like a main Mandalorian, but he's one of the people who like showed up to help, and I think he had like the minigun, and he just looked like a freaking like brick shit house. Yeah, like a tank of a Mandalorian. I don't know. I don't even know his name, and he's my favorite. Like, he just looked so fucking cool.
And that's the thing with Mandalorians. You're like, I like the green one. It's just, they all look awesome. They're all badass.
it's a big culture that like you haven't like. I don't feel like has been. I mean, now it's being explored with the TV
Yeah.
show, but like that's another cool thing.
And that was the great thing about this show. We were able to create Mandalorians. They have names, they have powers, they have different gadgets.
Create a whole like a whole clan. That,
Yeah.
there's a certain reason why the coloring is a certain way. Like Joe made.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're called the Roostics, right? No? I thought that's why.
I mean, I'll take it.
It sounds good.
Bottom house.
Yeah, they do.
I think that sounds great. So I think that Django is my favorite because it's all like childhood stuff for me, right? I remember specifically getting a Django toy and the head came off magnetically. Did you get Joe, did you ever have that
I
toy?
never saw that one. Oh, that's horrible.
So, spoiler, Django gets his head chopped off, but this Django toy was super articulate, had his guns, his jetpack, everytheverything, but his head came off.
Does it come with a little sad Boba side character?
Oh, God, no.
He's just holding
Holding
it.
the helmet.
But no, it was a magnetic head, and it would pop off, and I just remember I loved that toy, and I would be like, don't take his head off, because I was so sad when Django died. But also, that's a childhood thing, but man, I'm with Roostic. The Mandalorian is just so
he's
cool.
pretty
And I
cool.
love that he can't. You also look like him, so fists that too. But I love the Darksaber, and he's just not good with it. It's kind of like imagine if we were thrown into something. And we're all it's just so great. All right, we are leaning towards the end of the live. It's been an amazing time. we have dove into our history with Star Wars. We have dove into 3 words that describe this series. We plugged this a million times, but here it is, May 4th on Wednesday. On this YouTube, Qui-Gon Jinn, High Republic. Please check it out. Please share it around. We just got a question while I was rambling. Thank you so much, because I didn't know where I was going. Who's everyone's favorite Sith Lord?
Oh.
Alex, you want to start us off?
Honestly, Revan's pretty fucking awesome. I know that might be a lot
We
of
can all have the same
people's,
answer.
but like, Revan's cool. Like, he's just, I love his look. I love everything like about him as a Sith. Like, he's just, that's literally the I don't really have much more than that. Like, he's the epitome of just cool.
Do you know when he existed? Could he be in our show?
Isn't he before? Like, isn't a little bit earlier? I don't know.
Revan's way before him.
Yeah, like
that's like Old
Force
Republic.
Ghost.
This is
Like
High Republic.
super
That's
Force.
literally Old Republic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Force Ghost.
Because
Yeah.
he was I remember when my friend played the Old Republic games. That was kind of like when he was around.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's well
He's
before,
way
what
before
we're
my
doing.
time, I'm
Well
sorry.
before what we're doing.
No worries. We can do visions of the past, visions of the future. You know,
There you
like
go.
expand the lore. Joe, do you want to go next?
I do love Darth Revan. I played that game as well, and the twist at the end of that game. I'm not going to give a spoiler, but I mean it's like 20 years old, but whatever. I would probably say as far as their look, I love Darth Nihilus. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's got like the white skull, and he's just like nothing but black robe. He's a pretty cool character. That would probably be my
expert
favorite,
over here. I like
my
it.
favorite
I
Sith
like it.
Lord.
All right.
Joe is our resident expert.
Roostick,
Darth Vader.
classic. Love it.
That's great. Yeah.
It's just, I mean, it's just so memorable, and it's like the first time anybody's saw that, and it's just like,
Can I do one that's not canon?
Yes.
Star Killer.
Oh,
That's
a good
the
one, too.
homie. That guy's awesome, and you have the choice between each side. So Star Killer was the first like real bad guy in Star Wars that I really liked, and he was in. If you guys don't know, Force Unleashed. It was two games on like PlayStation 2 or 3
it
or
was
something.
2,
It was old.
It's old.
But I love that guy, and that actor's really great too. He's in Smallville. Anyways, I'm rambling. All right, guys, we have another question. That's not a question. It's a recommendation for character select, which we've worked on. Can you do Imperial Star Destroyer versus USS Enterprise? I think the Star Destroyer would absolutely demolish the Enterprise.
Yeah,
Right?
I
Don't they only
so,
have
too.
shields?
What's the like? But what is the difference between the capacity and the shields? And like we've watched ships like, especially in Rogue One, literally ram into a Star Destroyer. Also, what's the difference between warp and what
And light speed.
and light speed? Like,
Donate to our Patreon to find out. All right, guys. Final questions. Does anyone want to chime in? I don't want to hog the mic. Not to put anyone on the spot. Does anyone have a question?
I do want to say one thing.
Yeah.
I know everybody's been talking about Jerry and what he's contributed to their aspect of what they do. He also did a lot of work on the props and the armor. And when I didn't have the time to do it, or I couldn't figure something out, or even just taking stuff home and working on it from home, he did a lot of work, basically on every aspect of what we did during this production.
That's why we call it Team Jerry.
Yeah,
That's the
Yeah,
secret
I
code
wanted
word.
I wanted to give him props for that too, because
Yes.
there
was a big
there
help.
is somebody I would like to shout out to. Like, my costume specifically was made by Chad Hatter, and he deserves a lot of props for that because it held up through the entire thing. He did a lot of work on it, and I think it looks freaking awesome.
That's
And
great.
shout out to also Joe, who made the belt and also got me the boots for it. And it all came together, but that was something where like he specifically made that outfit for this show. So I wanted to shout that out.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful work too. It really is.
yeah, hell yeah. I guess I mentioned some of the guys on my second unit team. I already mentioned them. Tim Neff. I've got Tyler Albrecht, who was the stunt rigger. Selwyn was one of the characters as well. But I also wanted to say shout out to Narayan. Do you guys remember Narayan? Narayan Cabral is a really good friend of mine. He's a filmmaker. And he actually, on the day, because I played one of the Mandalorians, so he actually ran camera. While I was directing, he was making sure we were getting the shots exactly to the previs. So I just want to give a shout out to Narayan. Like, really, really dope. Like, he'll be in the credits once we put them up, but like, make sure you check out his stuff. Like, really, really cool action filmmaker as well.
Gonna guarantee he's in the credits because we were doing them earlier.
Yeah.
And he's in there. Yeah, there's so many people to shout out, but you guys are so amazing. Thank you so much for coming out. But guys, to the audience, this show we worked so hard on for so long, and it's coming out on Star Wars Day. The only way that we're going to continue this is if you guys support. Come out, like, share, comment. We do this because we love doing it, but the way that we progress and grow is with you guys supporting us. So no pressure at all, but we have worked so hard on this. Please share this around, get the promos out. It's going to mean more to us than you can possibly know.
We all know how the algorithm works. We know how all that, like, it's just please, like, if the least you can do is just watch it, throw a share, throw a like, throw a comment.
Yeah,
like, it really helps.
And also because, like what you're saying, like, a lot of us, like, I should think, like, all of us are, like, professionals in the industry. So, like, with our scheduling, kind of, like, it's hard to line it up sometimes. So, like, if we have, like, good funding behind this, like, we can make sure we can create together again. You know, like, that's kind of the main thing. Like, we're like in LA, like we're actually all, like, working in the industry. So that's kind of like another thing which would help out a lot. If you guys really liked it, you really want to see another one, you like the production value that we bring, like, that would really help to bring us all together again.
Exactly. Yeah. Great. All right, guys. These are the closing remarks from these amazing, talented people that helped bring Qui-Gon Jinn, High Republic to life. It's coming out May 4th on NerdBot Studios. I know I've said it quite a few times, but we're going to wrap this up.
May what?
Oh, May 4th.
Okay, cool.
May 4th or May the 4th?
May the 4th and May 4th.
Be with you.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming out. We can't wait to show you guys the full episode. It's about 24 minutes long, so it feels like, a real TV show episode. But we're going to wrap this up. Thank you so much. This has been amazing. You guys have been awesome. I love seeing you guys again. It's been way too long. I hope that this is not the last time we're all together. But we are only growing and evolving, and we'll see you guys next time. Make sure you check out Qui-Gon High Republic on NerdBot Studios on May 4th.